April has been recognized as Stress Awareness Month for over 30 years now, aiming to help people understand the negative impact of this modern epidemic. Our wellness expert, Heather Hans, joins us this morning to help us better understand just how much stress can impact us. Heather, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Love talking about this with you. Yes, so good outside, right? That's good for our mental health alone.
That is very good for our mental health.
So as we talk about this, what are some consequences of stress that people may not realize?
Sure. So just to refresh people's memory, heart disease is the main killer of people, and stress chronically can lead to heart problems. But even just stressful thoughts alone can cause physical illness. And some of the symptoms from stress include fidgeting, getting sick often, skin problems, hair loss, prematurely graying hair, fatigue, and even weight gain because of the way that stress impacts our cortisol level and how that impacts metabolism. So cortisol can also kill brain cells, cause memory loss, it can lead to mental illness, so all sorts of brain problems. It can also make us more prone to risky decisions, and it makes us more sensitive to pain the more stress we have. So there's tons of research showing how it very much ages us prematurely, and kids who have a lot of stress age faster, and they can have problems later on in their life with their health.
Okay, so we don't want any of that. So what are some ways that we can do to reduce our stress?
Sure. So the first thing is to really decide that you want to change your lifestyle and prioritize wellness and peace, because stress is actually highly addictive because of those chemicals that it produces from the anxiety. And so like any other addiction, people have to really want to change and make that decision. Also, a lot of times people stress about things that are not in their control, but then don't take responsibility for the things that are, like daily meditation, daily exercise, eating well. But once you do make that decision, one thing to do, and it's good to do this regularly, is just make sure that the thoughts you're thinking and the time that you're spending is geared towards the things you value most. So a couple of ways to do that. You could write down the 5 most important things to you 5 years ago, also what they are now, and then what you think they'll be in 5 years, and then see what the common ones are and make sure that you're really focusing on those. Another way to do it is to think of all the different desires or voices, we all have in our head. It's like there's the achiever, the giver, the socializer, the one that wants to keep us safe, the risk taker, and you write down all of those desires and see if there's a common one there, and that will tell you your values. And then one other tip is to really make an effort to bring humor in on a daily basis, because that's a huge stress buster, both physically and psychologically. And researchers at Stanford found that in order to find what's funny, you look for what's true rather than what's funny. And there's other research showing that 75 to 80% of our conversations, the laughter in our conversations, is about things that aren't even funny. So laugh often, laugh for no reason, and that can help people too.
I love that. It's also being aware of what stresses you out. There are sometimes I'm not even aware I'm stressed until somebody says your fists are clenched or your leg is shaking right now, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't recognize that. Does that happen to you too?
It totally does, and I always ask my clients, what physical sensations are you feeling right now? Because if you tune into those, it will give you a big clue of how you're doing.
So we got to be aware of what we're stressed about, and then we got to be aware of how to reduce that stress. A lot of good tips from Heather Hans. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan.